Guess what? Today we're making beignets, a cross between an egg-based French pastry and an American donut. It's famous in New Orleans, but delicious no matter where made. So continue watching to find out its delicious recipe. To start this recipe, we're going to start with the dough. Get your yeast and activate it by adding it to lukewarm milk, mixing it around, and waiting for around 10 minutes. In a separate bowl, we can add the butter, egg yolks, salt, yeasted milk, water, and honey to a bowl and whisk until well combined. We want to add all the wet ingredients first and gradually incorporate the dry as we go along. Therefore, we will add the sugar and mix again. Finally, to finish the dough, I'm adding the flour. I personally prefer to add half of the flour in first to prevent a mess. Therefore, add the flour, mix, and repeat. If you do this by hand, you will need to knead the dough, but you can also use a dough hook and knead it until it pulls away from the sides of the bowl. Then we're going to cover it up and let it rise for around 2 hours or until the dough has doubled in size. Now, I know that it can be hard to wait, but I promise you that this recipe is definitely worth it. Okay, so now as you can see, our dough has become beautifully light and airy and has most definitely doubled in size. We're going to go ahead and dust a clean surface with some flour. Then we're going to go ahead and take our dough out of the bowl and put it on the flour. Sprinkle some more flour over the top and if necessary on your rolling pin, and then you are ready to commence the rolling process. Roll this out to around half an inch thickness, but don't really worry too much about its thickness, since as long as it's not too thin, you're good to go. Now you can go ahead and cut these into either squares or rectangles. I personally decided to go with the more popular rectangles, but it's all really up to you. Let's go ahead and add the sunflower oil or any other neutral one that you chose, like canola or even olive oil. Put it at medium heat because we need to get it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You can also test the heat by adding a bit of dough to the oil. If bubbles form around it, you're good to go. It only takes 1.5 to 2 minutes to fry each side, but be sure not to leave the pan unattended for too long. When turning them around, just poke them with a spoon on the side, but you can use tongs if you wish. When golden brown, take them out of the oil and let them cool on some parchment paper. This will help drain the excess oil. When ready to serve, which should be immediately, go ahead and place them on a plate and shower them with powdered sugar. You can also go ahead and try what Disney's Tiana did and swirl around some honey and then add the powdered sugar, but either way, it's delicious. Basically, now you're done. They're light and fluffy, yet not surprisingly sweet from all that powdered sugar. Homemade desserts from scratch may take some time, but let me just state that they're definitely worth the effort. You can make these at home, so give them a try.